Welcome. So, the company being analyzed today is CMS Info Systems. Now, this company is a very interesting company. It is very dominant in some of the business segments it is in, and a major part of what it does is transporting cash. Actually transporting cash in vans from like one bank branch to another bank branch. Like you have a store has cash. So to transport the cash from that store to a bank branch, uh, transporting cash to ATMs, actually replenish or put money in the ATMs, so that ensure that ATMs always have money. So CMS Info Systems does a lot of that stuff and many more important business segments it has. So this company is not the biggest of companies. Market cap of 7,252 crores. A stock PE ratio, price to earnings ratio of 19. Current price of one share is around 440. Dividend yield of 1.48%, ROE of 17%, and return on capital employed of 23.7%. So, very nice return on capital employed and return on equity numbers. Now, the purpose of this is not to act as an investment advice, it's just to show information about this company. What we're going to do is take a look at some of the financials of its company over a longer period of time to see the growth rates and all. Second is seeing the different business segments of the company, understand what it actually does and what part of its business brings in how much of its total money. The third, we're going to take a look at its future outlook. What are the future plans, the targets, the potentials for this company? And finally, we have some recent news about the company. Okay, so first, we're going to start with the profit and loss from 2019. So here we have the profit and loss. All these numbers are in crores of rupees. So we have sales, the operating profit, we have the operating profit margin, we have the profit before tax, and finally here we have the profit after tax or the net profit. So in 2019, we have sales of 1,146 crore rupees. 2020, 1,383, then declined COVID era. 2022, 1,590 crores. 2023, 1,915 crores. 2024, 2,265 crores. 2025, 2,425 crores worth of total sales or revenue. Operating profit in 2019, 198 crores. 2021, 294 crores. 2023, 538 crores. 2025, 627 crores. Here you can see below the operating profit is the operating profit margin in percentage, of course. And you can see this is in the high 20s, 26%, 26%, 28%. All right. So operating margin in the 20% range. Now, profit before tax. Okay, let's look at profit after tax. 96 crores in 2019. Moving on, 224 crores in 2022. 2023, we have 297 crores. And finally, 2025, we have 372 crores in net profit. So 372 crores pure profit for 2025. Over the last 5 years, the sales growth has been 12%, 3 years, 15%, and last 12 months, there has been a drastic slowdown to 4%. This has been due to some conditions that maybe we will cover, maybe not in this segment, but in some other segment, we can cover why the sales growth has been pretty low for this year. In the compounded profit growth, we see that the compounded profit growth is outpaced the sales growth. So 5 years, 22% growth in profits. 3 years, 17% annualized growth in profits. Last 12 months, 6% growth. Stock price growth, okay, 19%. But we're not going to look at that. We're going to take a look at return on equity last 5 years and last 3 years around 19%, approx 19%, while last year around 17%. So not the fastest grower, but a decent grower, decently very nice grower. Okay, 12% sales growth per year analyzed. Nice. And one last thing we're going to take a look is this return on capital employed. Actually, we can take a look on this through a better way. So just wait. Okay, just wait. Okay. Now we took a look at some of its financials, the summary of its financials, profitable business. Now let's take a look at what it does, actually does. Okay. Now here it says it has, what is it? It's a business services platform, providing services to other businesses. All right, providing services to other businesses, B2B. Here's the revenue mix. Okay, here's the revenue mix. So it has two segments. One, providing 60% of revenue is the cash logistics. Okay, cash logistics, transporting cash. Then 40% of its revenue comes from managed services and tech solutions, the software side of business, the solution side of business. So we have 60% of revenue coming from cash logistics. Now, this 60% has been divided into three things. So 55% of this 60%, okay, not total, but 55% of revenue from this cash logistics is coming from ATMs. What does that mean? ATMs in cash logistics, basically transporting cash to ATMs, right? Replenishing, ATM replenishment. That's what it is, transporting cash to ATMs. Then we have retail, providing 27% of cash logistics revenue. Retail refers to retail stores, can refer to hospitals, can refers to even NBFCs, non-banking financial companies. They have cash, right? And they need to transport cash, maybe to some to some bank branch, right? Transporting cash so it can be deposited. So physically transporting cash, it helps in that. Who helps? CMS Info Systems helps in that. Maybe you want to keep cash safe. It also helps in that. Cash vaults. CMS Info Systems also provides that service. Okay. Last is CIT. CIT is basically cash in transit. In transit, again, this is also transporting cash, but like transporting cash from one bank branch to another. So basically transporting cash for clients other than for ATMs or retail. We're not talking about retail, we're not talking about ATM replenishment, just clients for whom it transport cash, but they are not included in retail or ATM. Fine. That is the cash logistics business, 60% of revenue. But now we have the 40% of revenue segment, managed services and tech solutions. And not saying that this is the major growth driver of this company, but it's a good focus of the company to diversify from just being a cash logistics business. All right, the company is trying to diversify from being just a cash logistics business, just cash, to many other different segments, which all have good growth potentials. Okay, so of this 40% managed tech solutions, okay, 38% of the 40% comes from managed solutions. Here we have, you can read this under managed solutions, tech oriented with strong operating leverage, strong moat given unified ops. If you understand, you understand. I don't. Okay. Managed solutions. Solutions to other businesses to manage either part of their infrastructure or a part of the operations on their behalf. That's what managed solutions are. Other companies, basically. Then we have technology solutions. Technology solutions. This technology solutions forms 18%. But what is technology solutions? Example, monitoring, surveillance services, surveillance software, algorithm software, making use of artificial intelligence in stuff like AI, fraud detection. All these services CMS Info Systems does provide. Okay. 20% of managed solution services and tech solutions comes from, what is that? The blue one, transaction linked BLA. Transaction linked BLA. BLA are business line agreements, basically contracts with companies. And here we are talking about banks, large banks. Now it's transaction linked, basically meaning these agreements are such that the revenue CMS info system will receive from banks will be according to the transactions. That is number of ATMs, let's say, or number of cash transactions occurring in ATMs. This company has a lot of India's biggest banks as its customers, as its clients. Okay, so here it gives a nice little info that 84% of this managed services and tech solutions, right, is revenue is subscription based. And finally, one part we didn't cover was this gray thing. 25% of this managed services and tech solutions revenue comes from banking automation. See, some banks will be traditional, they will need automation, like remote surveilling, like making sure the ATMs are more modern and all that stuff. And to help with banking automation, providing these services, there's CMS. So we have all these segments. These are the modern segments, you can say. We got management solutions, managed solutions. We got technology solutions. And these technology, these managed solutions, these are not just for banks. These are for retail companies. This can be for any company, basically. Okay. Then we have this, this. This is more detail about their services. Okay. One is ATM cash management. First, let's take a look at ATM cash management. 72,000 ATMs. How many ATMs they serve, basically. Then banking automation. 40,000 machines, that is ATMs, they have actually installed, and they have a 2,000 ATMs production capacity. So it seems that they also produce ATMs. All right. Then we have cash in transit, actually transporting cash. 1,200 vans, part of a 4,500 fleet. So 4,500 fleet vehicles they have, 1,200 are pure vans for carrying this cash. Here you can see SBI. So SBI also is like a customer for them. They cover around 12,000 bank branches with these, again, vans for transporting cash. Then we have ATMs as a service. ATMs as a service. What does this mean? Okay. Many banks, right? For many banks, the ATMs you see, right? It will have their name on them, the bank's name on the ATM, but they don't manage it. They don't own it. They don't operate it because that's not the bank's focus. That's not the bank job. So make sure that operating it, all that, it goes efficiently and cheaply for them. They will hire CMS Infosystems to, operate, sorry, to operate the ATM for them, to repair the ATM, manage all that. So 18,500 ATMs managed by this company, CMS. Then we have payment cards. This is a very simple business to explain, I think. So any card like Visa, Rupee, MasterCard, debit card, credit card, right? It will have information printed on it, right? Your credit details, your name, and all that. So to provide that services, to have your information being printed on the card, that's also done by CMS. That's an additional service it provides. So these were some of its services. Then solutions. Now, retail cash management includes many other things. Okay, here it says 65,000 touch points. What's a touch point? A touch point is a physical location where CMS Infosystem provides its services. So, an ATM managed by CMS Infosystem, it's a touch point. A company, a retail store where CMS comes and takes out cash, transports cash, that's also a touch point. So, one is integrated solutions. Okay, we've got payment logistics, we've got data and analytics, we've got secure automation, we've got payment reconciliation management. So payment logistics, making sure payments happen. All right, all right. That's the integrated solutions. Okay. Then we got AIoT RMS. AIoT is AI or Internet of Things. Let's not focus too much on this, but RMS can be risk management systems. These include AI fraud detection. These include providing surveillance facilities, all that. Very important. This can be expanded to many retail stores and all that. So can be a big revenue driver. Now, algorithms, we got AI. Again, I don't know much about this. 50,000 ATMs plus with Algo MVS, 30% ATM secure with Algo OTC. Okay, okay. All right, all right. So, okay. Now, this is the thing. Let's pay attention at. Here. it talks about its customers. Here we have the top five PSU banks, public sector unit banks. Here we have the top three private banks of the company. It provides cash logistics services to all of them. It provides banking automation services to many of them, ATM as a service, that is managing ATMs for them to many of them, algorithm software, okay, algorithm software for them, okay, three of them, Vision AI. Vision AI is the remote monitoring system, surveillance, providing surveillance to them, surveillance software services. So it provides it to all of them. Payment cards, processing, printing the information, all that. It provides to several of these banks. The top three private banks, yes, sir. Then gaining wallet share. Okay, number of large BFSI accounts it has, providing 50 crores plus annual revenue. They got 8 to 13 in the last 3 years. That's the expansion. So more and more big clients. All right. Here we have this revenue. You already saw this. Well, let's take one look. 2,400 crores this year. You got EBITDA and EBITDA margin. You already saw this also. 16%, sorry, 26%, 28% is the EBITDA margin. Very nice. PAT. Now, this is not what we looked at earlier. Profit after tax margin, we can see 15.4%. Okay, 15% is the profit after tax margin. Already saw the 4-year CAGR numbers. Then, now this is not what we looked at. Okay, first we have strong cash flow generation. What is this? This is OCF, or operating cash flow from operations. So operating cash flow from operations, or operating cash flows. Very important metric in valuation itself. All right, so this has been increasing. 482 crores of operating cash flows. And OCF as a percentage of EBITDA has also been increasing from 61% in fiscal year 2021 to 76% in fiscal year 2025. Meaning, cash flows are becoming a larger and larger percentage, or are coming closer and closer to EBITDA. Then reinvesting for growth. This is their capex. They're investing heavily in capex. 100 crores, 129 crores in fiscal 2025, 200 crores consecutively. Sorry, back to back in fiscal year 2022 and 2023. Then post tax return on capital employed, very impressive, 25%. Extremely good, very impressive, very stable. And we got earnings per share and dividends per share. I don't know if these are for diluted. Does it account for diluted shares and all that, dilution and all that? Keep a check, keep an eye. Dividends per share are now 9.5 rupees in 2025. A very nice increase, you can see. Earnings per share have also increased substantially. All right, all right, all right. So now we look through all this. One thing to show here is this. Just one small thing to show here. This is a statement said by the management of this company. Okay, one statement said by the management company. After that, we will see the future outlook of this company. So, be excited. He says, the management, that ATM cash market share has increased to 58% to 60%. What does this mean? What is this ATM cash market? Basically, a lot of these ATMs, right, will be outsourced by banks. These ATMs will not be owned by banks. So all these ATMs, which are outsourced to third party companies like CMS, so all the transactions, the cash transactions taking place in the ATMs, 60% of total transactions were done by ATMs of CMS Info Systems. They have a 58 to 60% market share in this. They're the dominant leader, way larger than any other company, especially in this. Then here this says that we have significantly scaled up our relationship with ICICI Bank over the last 12 months, and now they are a second largest customer in Algo MVS software. Again, I'm not sure, but what is Algo MVS? But I think the thing we can take from this is algorithm AI software. And again, it's gaining traction and it's actually getting the money. It's written here. In Algo MVS software, we secured a landmark deal, meaning that now two of the top four Indian banks will be using our software across 85,000 plus ATMs. 85,000 plus ATMs will be using their Algo MVS software. So big win for what? The software business. Again, diversifying. All right. Then last thing we're going to take a look at our future outlook. Future outlook of this company. Only outlook was available. Okay, future outlook of this company. Fine. So first, fast growing and underpenetrated organized retail opportunity. Okay. All right. Let's just see this. Now, here it says touch points. Okay, a point. Okay, a word is mentioned again. Touch point. Again, it's a physical location where CMS Infosystem provides its services. That's a business point. A business point. Touch point is basically a potential business point. It's a potential place where it can provide its services, right? So it says only 550,000 out of 3 million retail touch points are organized. Sort of 3 million potential retail touch points. That is a potential overall market. Only 550,000 are organized, and only one third are outsourced for cash logistics. Meaning, only one third of retail touch points are outsourced for cash logistics, meaning that two-thirds of it, cash logistics, is done by the companies themselves, is done by the store itself, is done by the bank itself. Transporting cash is done by the companies themselves. So basically, it's saying that it has a fast growing and underpenetrated, fast growing and underpenetrated organized retail opportunity, right? So this was the total number of the addressable market for them. Okay. Then here they have retail 360. This is one of the business segments. Okay, basically, some of the business services, they're grouping them together under this brand, Retail 360. Here provides payment automation, all right, helping with payment software, important. Then in-store solutions like cash logistics and remote monitoring, surveillance, very important. All right, this is one of the growth opportunities. So this is retail touch points, potential customers, potential business. There's a lot of, let's say, unpenetrated stuff out there for you. Then Vision AI. Vision AI, all right. Vision AI, rapid scale up. Vision AI, again, remote monitoring, surveillance, AI fraud detection, all of that. RMS, risk management solutions. Now, it is number one in ATMs. So Vision AI is already number one in ATMs, and TAM means total addressable market. Basically, they are selling completed development of full solution stack of hardware and software. So hardware and software, all right? What is the opportunity for them? Now, first they say they have a BFSI, which is banking, financial sector, and insurance sector opportunity in this sector of 2,000 crores plus. All right. Here sees in banking, there are 260,000 potential and only 45% penetration for this like Vision AI, where they can employ Vision AI more and more. Then in 140,000 numbers you're given here, minus negative, less than 20% penetration. Then this is the, okay, basically this is the entire opportunity is 2,000 crores plus in the BFSI. Then the non-BFSI opportunity for again, surveillance, fraud detection, all of that, data analytics services, all of that. We've got warehouses, dark stores, we've got EV charging stations, we've got retail plus QSR, which is quick service restaurants, 100,000 for quick service restaurants. Potential market. Okay, first we had touch points as the big potential market, right? Retail touch points. Second major growth outlook for them is again Vision AI, that is their remote monitoring or risk management solutions that's providing. They have a big underpenetrated market. Then here they say fiscal year 2025, 2027 opportunity. Opportunity, okay? Compound services revenue 14 to 17%. I think they are estimating growth from 2025 to 2027. Why? Why are they anticipating 14 to 17% growth? First is market consolidation. That is the total markets they're operating in, right? They're going to be consolidating towards larger players from smaller players. Lower penetration in retail, 550,000 touch points. Again, 35%. Okay, only 35% have been covered. Then Vision AI, 35% of 4 lakh bank ATMs and branches use AIoT RMS, remote monitoring solutions, or risk management solutions. And there has been a growth in bank and bank branches. India is still using a lot of cash, and cash still continues to grow despite UPI and all that. And 100,000 ATMs are yet to be OS, that is outsourced for cash logistics. And again, M&A, mergers and acquisitions, are a potential growth outlook for them. All right. Then we have the long-term growth. All right. We have here the long-term growth from 2009 all the way to 2025. And on 2025, 17% revenue growth from 2009 to 2025, 19% profit after tax growth. In 2009, revenues were only how much? 216 crores and 10.5% PAT margin. 215,000 crores, 1,128 crores, and profit after tax margin 8%. Profit after tax margin of 15.4% in 2025, a revenue of 2,400 crores. All right, all right. Now, we look through future outlook. Finally, we have some recent news for the company. Recent news. 153,000 business points in cash logistics and 9% growth there. They have a strong order win momentum. Orders, new business, basically new deals. They have a 500 crores of wins, order wins in software, managed services, and cards. Then they won a multi-year software solutions contract for ICICI Bank's entire ATM network for Algo MVS. All right. They have a strategic acquisition in Vision AI business with an investment of 80 crores. All right. And then we have a lot of lowlights which you can read. You can pause and read it right here. Yep. Then in future outlooks, we have here strategic acquisition. Remember the acquisition we talked about earlier? This is what it is. They have recently acquired Securance. Securance is another company, and it's the fourth largest AIoT RMS player. AIoT is artificial intelligence plus Internet of Things. Internet of Things basically refers to devices which have sensors on them so they can provide real time data like CCTV cameras, like desktops, like when your phone, Internet of Things, such devices, right? So mixing AI with them so that they can send data and they can learn from data. That is these devices. So a big player there in this IoT RMS, again RMS, risk management solutions, AI fraud detection, surveillance services, data and analytics, risk analytics services. All that, it's a big player in that. So Securance, they just bought it. Here they say that they have a combined entity has 45,000 plus points, sites, touch points, and a 36% market share in BFSI, more than twice X the next competitor. So big, big thing for them. And a lot of synergies across, of course, of course. And finally, I think we have just one last thing to see, that is the new brand positioning. So instead of, with the previous slogan of connecting commerce, now they have unified platform, limitless possibilities. That is a new, you can say, Outlook slogan. Here you can see the software solutions, all the software solutions will come under the brand that is Algo. All the vision AI solutions, risk management solutions will come under Hawk AI, and direct to retail solutions, D2R, will come under Retail 360. So all these services having a common thing. They are grouped under these different brands. So that's it all for CMS Infosystems. Very profitable company, very dominant in what it actually does. A lot of different segments. The algo stuff I did not understand at all, but it says software solutions, so software services to banks and all that. For major banks, the biggest banks are its customers, and it has a huge retail opportunity. All right, providing this surveillance services, providing cash logistics services to many more retail stores. Retail stores, non-banking stuff, even including NBFCs. NBFCs come in this. So retail stores, NBFCs, hospitals, all that providing cash logistics services. And as you can see, it was written underpenetrated retail opportunity for them. 3 million retail touch points, out of which only 5.5 lakhs are actually organized, and only one third of that total organized 5.5 lakhs, I believe they said, were actually outsourced for cash logistics. So a huge opportunity, a huge market for them basically. So that's it. Hope you have a nice day.